All right. Our last week in this class. And yes, there is the finals week, but in this case, the only thing left to do after you finish this this problem set, is if you haven't, hopefully you have already signed up for the technical interview. If you haven't done that, that would be it. So after you've completed this, the score in your grade is your grade for the course. And remember, you can always do that what if scenario I believe I talked about last week, where in Canvas you can go into my grade and, what if I got this work done, or what if this, right? So understand that. And I've already talked about the end of the semester dates, but if you have any questions, now would be a great time to ask, or just roll back to that video where I talked about it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm first going to go over what you need to do for the graded part of this, and then I'll have some parting comments. So now that you've gone through, because that's your first step, is to watch the video where I cover the problem set that you're about to attempt, okay? That you are going to, not about, you're going to attempt it, I'm guessing, unless you don't, which. Anyway, so here's what you're going to end up doing. So after watching that video, right, is set up the folder and files. Now I've given you here a link to that setup document I went over in the video, so that's here. You can set that up, and I would definitely say create the database, create the file, run the reset that creates the database, and then look at the data. Matter of fact, that's what I say inside of here, right? And then review the user log table, the user log table data, and the database schema. No proof of work needed here. I just want you to spend a little time, again, now that you know what at least you've seen my review, right? And spend a little time to better understand, because this is a little different than what we've done in the past, right? There's different components to this. And it's a different problem set using new SQL that we've learned. So then ask a question that will help you better understand what is required for this problem set, right? And that's 80 points. And so also, and then review, right? Another student's question, right? And see if you can answer it. See if you can, this is where working together, it really helps to have a deeper understanding before you move into it. Okay, so that is what you need to do for your post, and the points for the last one. So only one required. And the last thing I want to say is, at this point, I've read 2 of the feedbacks on the AI reviews, and the thing I'd like you to know is that the students who have done reporting to me in a timely basis have helped us determine that part of the problem, there was 2 problems that were actually hitting in the last couple of weeks. One, my fault, and actually one OpenAI's fault was that it was timing out when we were making the round trip APIs. But at this point, I've led at least 2 posts, and they both have really helpful information that I'm going to take into consideration as I move into summer, and as we figure out where we're going to go with the development of the product that we already have started with, knowing in this case in the CIT28, my hope in doing 2 attempts was that the second time around you would get different questions, because based on the way you answer them. But I see where that was sometimes the case in reviewing the output, but not always the case, right? But also because I had a bigger part of this course grade-wise in the reviews. So these are all good things for me to take into summer and to consider how I would change them. So the last thing I want to say is just thank you. Like, without you, I have no job. And I love my job. I hope, if nothing else, you have sensed that I very much care about the skills that you walk away with, and I very much care about that you spend more time attempting the work and very less time, if possible, trying to figure out what I want. Now, I say that knowing that this week is different and that you may spend a little time, but I'm actually trying to give you work around that time spent trying to do that. But I very much appreciate you selecting this class, and I hope wherever this takes you and whatever these skills that you take with you going forward benefit you. I believe they will. It was really good to read some of the feedback about coding that I saw because, I definitely think it's not going away for sure. And I can tell you the way I use AI is changing. Matter of fact, the instructions that you're seeing on this one was actually me and ChatGPT together because I said, here's my requirements because I looked at how I had done it last time and I tried to make it clearer. I'm not sure that was accomplished, but there is a really interesting level up you get when you actually, in this case, use AI as a partner to help you extend your knowledge. And it's just, I'm learning. And that's what I love about this job is I'm continuing to learn all the time. I've been in tech for many years and I have never not learned, but I feel like I'm learning faster than ever right now. And I feel like the AI is helping me learn faster and helping me be more creative. And I'm looking forward to the summer to actually redo one of my courses, not this one, although I may redo some of this one as well. But that's what summer is for me. Besides taking a little bit of a break, I spend summers redoing content. We'll be working on the app this summer. But more than anything, I just want to say thank you for, making it this far. I know my classes are not easy. I don't set them up intentionally to be a challenge, and maybe some of you felt like they weren't. It's like, no, it was just, I've had conversations with a couple of you about sometimes my work may feel like, the whole dreaded for me busy work, but the idea is what is busy work is work that intended to help you extend your skill set. And I hope you did that here. I really hope you did that here. So, and if you ever in the future find a moment where you use this, let me know. I very much appreciate that because it also helps me as because this is now the second time I've taught this course. Normally I teach coding and web development stuff, and I very much enjoyed adding this to my skill set. Now, having both gone through the CS course, which, by the way, the CS course you can, and I think I said this maybe already, so sorry for if it's a repeat, but the CS course you could still complete more of. You can still continue to learn. There's many ways to continue your learning in this particular area of writing SQL. SQLite has its limitations for sure. It's not really meant for permissions. As a matter of fact, I talked about that in the overview. But I digress. So thanks. Have a great summer. If you have any questions regarding the end of the semester, please reach out. The sooner the better. Waiting until week 18, I don't have as much flexibility because of the timeline of the end of the semester, right? So if you have any questions about that, make sure you're reaching out sooner rather than later. And have a great summer. All right. Thanks for being here. And hopefully I'll see you soon. I have other classes, FYI, if you want to take them. I already have a couple of you who weren't necessarily going to come into our program taking some of my other classes, which always makes me feel awesome. All right, thanks.